Eric, who wants to get started?
Coach, congrats on the win. In the fourth quarter, you guys really converted on a lot of 76er turnovers. Is that really what's swung the basketball game?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we had 20 points off their turnovers. We had 31 for the quarter. So defensively, we turned it up. They only scored 18 points in that quarter, and we got busy on the defensive end of the floor. And, anytime you get turnovers, normally they don't get an opportunity to set their defense. So there's opportunities to be taken advantage of, and our guys, shoot, man, they did it again. I just can't praise these guys enough for the fight that's in them. I mean, they play, harder than their opponent on a nightly basis. They're trying to do the right things for one another, and again, we got down in a hole, but these guys banded together, arm in arm, and fought. And we're able to come up with a great victory.
Coach, Friday it was McLemore, Saturday it was Seldens, tonight it was Mike Henry. Talk about the ability to have guys to step up on any given night with this deep rotation.
Injuries and circumstances happen, but the most important thing is how each individual prepares themselves. And again, the credit goes to those individuals who, Mike comes from the G League, Wayne came from being injured, Ben came from not playing at all, to having an impact on the game. So you got to give those guys a ton of credit. Our assistant coaches do a great job with those guys, guys that aren't playing. They spend extra time with them, extra work, making sure that if their number is called, those guys are prepared and they're ready to play. So credit the assistant coaches and credit those guys for putting the work in.
Did the ejection of Wayne serve as a little bit of a turning point, a focus point for you guys? Because it seemed like you guys played a little bit better at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously, don't want guys to get ejected, but it was a rallying point for us. We felt as if, and rightfully so, we felt as if, things weren't going our way. Wayne, in frustration, got upset. But what it did was it brought each and every guy together. And from that moment forward, we got rid of the distraction. And guys just decided, no matter what happens or what whistles are blown, we're going to go compete with one another, and we're going to overcome it. And you look at our guys, and they continue to overcome odds. Whenever we're counted out, whenever we're down, these guys figure out a way to come together and put ourselves in a situation to win the game, which is what we did tonight.
Coach, how would you describe the chemistry that your team is developing now after all of the turmoil? It seems like you guys are settling into a groove.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It was going to take a minute for all that to happen, and then you start mixing in injuries and guys being in and out of the lineup, so you weren't really able to develop that type of chemistry. But what you see happening now is a group of guys with one goal who feel as if their back is against the wall. And they're a group of guys who feel like they've been counted out and they've been slighted. And they're a prideful group of tough, physically and tough-minded guys. And again, we said this before, but any opponent that's in front of them in any situation, we'll go to war with these guys. And they'll battle, and, we like our odds coming out clean on the other side.
Coach, can you just talk about Mike Henry's just breakout performance tonight? He scored 17 points. Like, who would have ever expected for this to happen?
I mean, it's preparation, right, and dedication to your craft. And, Mike has been a guy who, has worked, he's grinded, and he's gotten an opportunity. And, he got his first taste of it the other night. I think he kind of shook a little bit of the cobwebs off, but his number was called, and he's got a belief and trust in his training. He works at his shot. He works at being a good basketball player. And when you do that, it gives you the confidence that in any moment, if called upon, you can deliver. And once he made a couple, his teammates started to recognize what was going on, and they started hunting him. And, you know, that's the bond that this team is building, where it's not, oh, you know, he's making shots, you know, I got to get mine. As soon as they recognize that one guy's got it going, they make sure they seek that guy out and try to help him continue to have that success. So, again, you know, it's hats off to that group in that locker room. Couldn't be proud of those guys.
Coach, you had minutes tonight. We played Deontay and Ivan together. Is that something you want to do coming down the stretch of going to the All-Star break, having those two guys play together?
Yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, you know, I think with JaMychal being injured, you know, there's minutes at that 4 spot that have to be filled. And, you know, any opportunity for young guys to play against NBA competition, you know, no matter if it's 3 minutes, 8 minutes, you know, 28 minutes, it's experience gained. And that's the only way big guys and young players in general, that's the only way they get better. You know, you can work them out to death, but if they don't get on the court and play against other NBA players in game situations, they won't improve. So the opportunity to get them on the floor presents themselves. We're not afraid to play them together.
Last question, Peter.
JV, did this game show the good and the bad for young players on both sides? In the fourth quarter, you guys outscored them 20-1 in points off turnovers, which a disparity I've never even seen before. Does that show kind of the good and the bad of youth?
Yeah, I mean, again, without taking away from what our guys did, our guys turned up the intensity, and we put the pressure on. So, you know, give our guys credit for being the aggressor in those moments and forcing the issue. You know, they are a high turnover team, and recognizing that, you know, our guys put them in situations more often where they would turn the ball over, and, you know, tonight they did.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.